Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I think this is a worthy topic.
All right, so me and Jay here talking about LeBron James and just some interesting topics that just came to mind, right? So, what we're talking about is your. So, for instance, let me just lay this landscape this out for y'all, right? So, we're talking about how Muhammad Ali is considered to be the greatest boxer of all time. Meanwhile, the better record is had by Floyd Mayweather because he's never lost. Same thing with LeBron James. LeBron James is considered a GOAT by many, but it's not just because of what he's done in the basketball court, but also outside. Now, the things that we're discussing is, can you actually be should your basketball, football, boxing, UFC, whatever it is, should those careers be included in your? Should they have philanthropy included, or should it be excluded out? Because the thing is like you can't really include one without the other, right? You can't include one without the other. You can't if Muhammad Ali does not stand for what he stands for by not going to the draft, by changing his name, by being an outstanding Muslim, and just being a social activist that he was, does that contribute to his greatness? Because if that's the case, then if we're going to take that same regard, are we going to sit there and say that about LeBron James? Even though a lot of people try to downplay LeBron James' greatness by sitting there saying, "Oh, you can't include those things." It's kind of like how Jay-Z is. Jay-Z is a great rapper, but people try to exclude his business mindset because it's not rapping. But one cannot coexist without the other.
And I think it's a matter of I think they'll they'll properly use their platform and their status. Because you can have a mediocre NBA player, right? And he attempts to do this for the philanthropic work and so forth and whatnot. And it has its reach, but it's capped. All right. But then you have a LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You are the face of the NBA. You are borderline, cut it close, the face of Black rights. He can't be. He can't be that.
Mm-hmm.
The philanthropic work has to be acknowledged just because of the platform. If he didn't do the things that he did outside the basketball court, if it wasn't included, no, he wouldn't. I don't think he would be considered as a GOAT. Or at least we wouldn't be talking about him in that conversation and whatnot. those things are intertwined with each other. If he wasn't the player that he is, I don't think he would have the reach that he has. From on the outside of the basketball court. You take someone like Damian Lillard, Portland Trailblazers, right? I said, do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a star in the league, but he is not a LeBron James size star. He doesn't have a LeBron James sized platform. He has reach, but not LeBron James sized reach. He's still doing his thing outside of the basketball court in the Portland area or whatnot, but we don't hear about that stuff. We don't get either he's doing just as much as LeBron, or we just don't hear about it enough. But that platform has to go hand in hand with that particular person. I don't think LeBron, what he's achieved on the court, I think that would have taken place no matter what. If he didn't do what he did off the court, the things that he did on the court we wouldn't speak of him as much, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we would speak of him in that conversation as much. It's like we have to speak of those things because LeBron James has always been he's not this, he's not that. As far as on the basketball court, he's not a clutch player, et cetera, et cetera. But he's clutch off the court. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Easily, no question. I can guarantee you his Hall of Fame speech is going to, when they speak, whoever inducts him into the Hall of Fame, they're going to speak much more on his achievements off the court than on the court.
And that's my point. Like, so if Damian Lillard doesn't get
Damian Lillard, when he goes into the Hall, and he's going to be another first ballot Hall of Fame. When he goes into the Hall, they're going to speak more on his basketball career.
Right.
They're going to speak on his philanthropic efforts, but it's not going to be on that LeBron level. I can guarantee you.
Right, and that's
we're going to know LeBron.
So that's my thing. So for him to be perceived as the greatest of all times, right?
Mm-hmm.
For him to be perceived as the greatest of all times, then he has to have had at least I don't know, man. It's like if the Hall of Fame is considering it, then we should consider it.
Oh yeah.
To be, and then that, and to me, if they're going to consider that, then by those standards alone, we have to consider LeBron James to be the GOAT. Because if you're going to consider all those things, they don't talk about Jordan's philanthropy because Jordan really don't help people. He gives his money to the NCAAP every so often, and that's it. But you don't hear him speaking or doing things for his people, the people that buy his sneaker, right? You don't see him sitting there doing that, right? But you hear consistently about LeBron James and what he's done for the community and what he's brought to the community. With that being said, just off of those things alone, he is the GOAT. Because even, God rest his soul, Kobe wasn't like that either.
He wasn't. Kobe did his thing, but we don't know much about it. And I'll be the first to tell you, I love Kobe to death. I'm a Laker fan to the heart. I still, rest in peace, Kobe. I still ain't watched none of the memorials because that him passing, that hurt. But got to be honest, at the rate LeBron going at the back end of his career, yeah, I think we really, really need to stop playing around and just go ahead and admit it. this kid is he's going to be the GOAT. If he wins that one more championship and he ends up top 5 in assists like we was discussing prior to hitting the record button.
This is where I differ with you. I think if he wins one more championship or if he gets in the top 3 for assists, there's no discussion. There is no discussion. That man is the GOAT.
It's no reason why he shouldn't be, because again, like I said, prior to us hitting the record button, right? Bill Russell has 11 championships as a player, 2 more as a coach. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 6 rings and a national championship. Michael Jordan has the exact same thing, but for some reason, everybody says Jordan is the GOAT, probably because of the shoes.
Well, I think it's shoes, but also how he changed the game as far as how he moved and stuff like that.
I got it.
That's cool. That's cool, right?
Just keep in mind, this is how I look at it. That's how I look at it. It's close to the shoes for me. But make no mistake,
right. I feel you. And again, in that regard, he changed the aspect of basketball. But at the end of the day,
okay. So how about this then? So we're talking about Jordan's influence on the game, right?
Uh-huh.
What about LeBron's influence on the game? Do you see the power that players have now because of LeBron?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because of his social, because he's a social warrior, he's not and he's pulled the organization together. A player with him, Chris Paul, and there's a couple other ones, but I know him and Chris Paul are really tight.
This is how much LeBron has influenced the NBA. Teams that play against him in the offseason, the moves that they'll make, trades, free agent signs and so forth, they make a lot of those moves with the intent on knowing that we got to see LeBron James. We have to go through him. And to beat LeBron James, you have to borderline have a super team or hope that
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was reading an article, right? So LeBron, when he left Cleveland, the Eastern Conference, to the Lakers, Western Conference. When he did that, Kevin Durant went to the East. James Harden went East. The players that was in the Western Conference, they went in the other direction. So they don't have to see that guy that much.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When he was in the playoffs, I think the Lakers was down. I can't remember if it was San Antonio, not Lakers, the Cavs. Can't think they was playing the Spurs or Golden State. They was down 3-1 in the finals.
And they came back and swept them.
What does that tell you? What does that tell? They have to game plan. They make their offseason moves with him in mind. And there are a ton. Nobody makes these moves saying we got to beat Kevin Durant this year. We need this.
Oh, hell no.
They don't do that. They don't do that because Kevin Durant, yeah, we know he can score, and he'll be top 5 when it's all said and done. But Kevin Durant might put up more points than LeBron, but LeBron has a bigger impact than Kevin Durant.
Of course. Durant is a scorer, low post guy. He's not the type of man that sit there and control the game.
Mm-hmm. LeBron, they make moves in the offseason, hoping that this is the right move to get past LeBron. I don't care what nobody say right now. My Lakers might look rough right now, but we get in the playoffs, we're going to be a problem. And it's going to be because of LeBron. LeBron has taken less than mediocre teams to the finals.
Yeah, like Kyrie Irving thought that he could sit there and take the Cavs to, what was it, the finals, and he couldn't even do it 2 years in a row by himself.
Yeah, they make moves around LeBron. Tell you.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I champion people for their greatness. Like I champion, especially our people when they go and they do the things that they do. Um, he could have easily sat there and said, I'm not gonna help nobody. I'm not gonna do anything for nobody, and just racked up his millions, been cool with his wife and kids, and just chilling out. But he didn't. He's helping back. He's reaching back, helping people out, which I consider to be great.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
And that to me, that's what matters the most. The people that have uplifted you or propelled you to the status of where you at, you're reaching back and you're also helping them out to help them out too. And I think that's these people are the ones that buy the tickets, that go and that go and buy his sneakers. If he didn't win, if he doesn't win another championship, I still think he's the GOAT, just because of the simple fact of his philanthropy.
And this is why I say when he goes into the hall, when they do his speech, whoever introduces him inducts him into the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, you're going to hear more about his philanthropic work. You're going to hear more about the things that he's doing outside of basketball. You're going to hear more about the Banana Boat Brothers. That's what they call themselves. LeBron, Chris Paul, Carmelo, they all, and Dwayne Wade, they all hang out together in the off season and whatnot. You're going to hear
the Banana Boat Brothers. That's what they call
themselves. The Banana Boat Brothers. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah,
but you're going to hear about.
Pause. Yo, no. Yo.
Look it up. But this is what you're going to hear about. You're going to hear about the little things that LeBron has did, right? Like with Carmelo. A lot of people don't know about this. Carmelo fell into the lake and down there drowning. And LeBron saved this, jumped in the water and saved him.
Oh, yeah. I heard that song.
Those are the things you're going to hear about. You're going to hear about the I Care School Foundation and everything. Those are the things you're going to hear about. You're also going to hear about him spray painting nigger on his wall at his house.
I remember that.
You're going to hear about that stuff. His Hall of Fame induction is going to be more about everything that happened off the court versus on. And that is what's going to make him the GOAT. If you'd have asked me that a year ago, I would not have said LeBron is the GOAT. I would definitely have said he was the GOAT. But it makes it more compelling for people that champion for him. It's like, well, now we got something else. You know what I mean? Which is I don't think there's a comparison now, right? Because I think the teams, if you look at the teams historically, who LeBron had and who Jordan had fucking monster squads. But literally he could have had two fucking starting lineups. He could have sat the first lineup and had the other lineup starting. He could have, and vice versa. But that's neither here nor there. Just think about it. Think about this right here. When he first went to the finals, he got swept by San Antonio. He took a mediocre team. Just imagine if they had sense enough to put some actual players around him. Because that's the reason why he left Cleveland the first time. He needed help. Imagine, think about this. When he went to Miami and they had the big parade and everything, and they said they want to win 7, 8, 9 championships. They won 2. Just imagine they had kept that group together 5, 6 years. LeBron will probably have 6 or 7 championships right now. And this is the icing on the cake. Prior to LeBron James, and he's from Cleveland, Ohio, how many NBA championships have Cleveland won?
None since he's been there.
He brought Cleveland their first NBA championship. He brought a championship home.
Did he bring them? No, he brought one to LA.
He brought one there.
and 2 to Miami.
He brought two to Miami. He brought 2 to Miami. He brought 1 to Cleveland. He brought 1 to LA.
Yeah.
But the fact that he brought a championship home, that seals the deal. That seals the deal, if you ask me. You think about, the players Cleveland has had. I'm gonna give you a second to think about it. Think hard. Think hard. Never think of nobody. I can think of a few players, but they wasn't even on. They wasn't on anybody's statue. There's Craig Elo, Mark Price, Larry Nance, whose son is in the league. Brad Daugherty.
You said Lance.
Exactly. You see what you just said? Ooh. That's why I said Cleveland basketball. You have to think. The biggest highlight coming out of Cleveland, right, was the shot Michael Jordan hit over Craig Elo.
Mm-hmm. I remember that one.
You see what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing that happened to Cleveland basketball. And he brought a championship, though.
And they didn't want to help him bring him. Yeah. It's. Yeah, I just don't. I don't see there being much left for people to stand on, other than people sitting there saying, "Hey, look how long it took him to accomplish that."
It would have took anybody else the same length of time. He was just fortunate to have good help.
Yeah, I mean, the man's been playing in the league for how long now? Like 20, almost 20 years?
He's at 18, he's at like 19, 20 years. And
wait,
again,
he's like 38, right?
37, 38, yep. And again, like I was saying earlier, you have to keep in mind, he's been doing this stuff straight out of high school, no break in between.
Nope.
No break.
The only breaks he's gotten is when he's had injuries. That's it.
And that's just been recent.
So
other than that, he's been pretty much healthy.
So I don't see much. I mean, there's not much left to stand on to sit there and call this man a go. I think even Shaq sat there and said it. He said if he wins another title, there's no more discussions.
There's no more discussion. Yeah, that's why I said I got it. Mike got 6, Kareem got 6, Bill Russell got 11. But if Michael Jordan could be the GOAT over Kareem and Bill, LeBron could be the GOAT with his 5 championships over Jordan.
And even then, I would debate about Jordan being the GOAT over Kareem or Bill.
Now you see where I'm going with this stuff? Because when people have that GOAT discussion, they never mention Kareem. They never mention Bill. They never mention that. It's just Jordan, LeBron, Kobe.
Because look at what Bill and Kareem did. Like nobody was moving like them in the league, and that's where Jordan copied his shit from.
And here's another fun fact. When we talk about things done outside, right? Bill Russell is a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It is awarded for humanitarian acts. But these are the things that don't get discussed. But Jordan is the GOAT over Kareem and Bill, supposedly. So if he could be the GOAT over them, LeBron could be the GOAT over Jordan with less championships. All he need to do is win one more. Like you said, I completely agree with you. One more championship or top 3 assists.
It's either one of those. Once he does either one of those, and if he does both, and I don't want to hear shit about nothing.
If he does both, and
he does both, I don't want to hear shit from nobody. Jordan,
he does both, and he plays in the league with his son just one season. If he steps on the court with his son, whether his son is on his team or not, if he steps on the court with his son, and everybody sees, oh my God, LeBron James Sr. is guarding LeBron James Jr. or vice versa, or they end up on the same team in the same starting lineup, like how Ken Griffey did with his dad. Come on, man. Shut it down. Just shut it down.
But really, with that, what would that do? I'm trying to figure out what would that specific feat do to his greatness.
It's just another layer of icing, just another conversation piece to remember him by. It's more for us to talk about.
Oh, okay.
That's all. That's all. That's enough to keep him at the tip of our tongue.
Nah, yeah, because if that happens, then I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, who know to do that?
Again,
like, and to stay as healthy as he's done.
There you go.
Like for that long, like I don't know anybody that can keep their body that healthy. Everybody breaks down around between 15 and 17. 15 to 17 year mark, they break down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, now what? Like he has everything. There's really nothing.
There's not enough for him to accomplish.
And I think once he reached 42, that's when he's gonna start to decline. I know he's starting to decline a little bit now, but I think he's still hungry to where he wants that extra championship.
Yeah, I think if he plays until his early, because keep in mind, Vince Carter did. Vince Carter played until he was like 42, 44 years old. Tom Brady
Didn't Vince Carter come back? He came back. Didn't he retire and then came back?
No, it was like his farewell tour type thing.
But no, like I could have swore like 2 years ago he was playing the game, but I forgot where the fuck he was at.
He was in Atlanta.
Was it Atlanta?
Mm-hmm. Atlanta was the last team he played for.
Okay, so yeah, he came back, and I was just like, "What is this, man?" I was like, "Why is he still playing?" Like I know
keep this in mind right here, because he said he plays because he likes mentoring the younger players. Vince Carter is another one that could have easily still averaged like 15, 16 a game on the way out.
Yes. Because when he came back, he was still putting up like 20, 25. He was still putting up numbers.
There's still videos of this dude in his early 40s jumping like he's in his early 20s. This dude can still throw down.
That's my point, though. So it's like, so then what the fuck? Anyway, so and I know LeBron is a big person of taking care of your body in the off season. He's a big component.
Him and Chris Paul, they spent $1 million each on their bodies every year.
I wonder what I would really like to take a look at that. Pause. That sounded weird, but I really would like to take a look at that.
They a lot of them do that stuff. Kobe, prior to him retiring, those last 5 years in the league, every year he goes to Germany to see his doctor, and he has plasma injection done on his knee. They extract blood from another part of his body, extract the plasma, and shoot it in his knee. It helps the healing process. Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Those guys invest a lot of money in themselves.
There's a lot. There's a lot. See, money. People say money doesn't buy happiness, and I disagree. It could buy you a lot of shit. It could buy you a lot of shit.
But yeah, man, he's been playing since he was 18. That dude's gonna retire when he's probably like 41, 42.
Yeah, if he can keep at the rate that he's going, I don't see him breaking down. Like he has little issues every now and then. Every now and then he has little issues, right? But the issues are so minor that it's like, well, if he goes and he gets this done or that done, he's straight. Like there's nothing wrong with him. But
LeBron simply decides, I'm going to come off the bench and be the sixth man. He can play until he's like 45.
Easily. That's what I'm like.
Because what that does, it puts less stress on his body. And as any athlete will tell you, it's not about who starts, it's about who finishes the game. Everybody wants to be on everybody wants to be on the floor in the closing seconds. LeBron's gonna be on the floor in the closing seconds, the closing minutes. So
because that's just the way the person he's built to be. He
if he
wants to close out every game. He
mhm.
wants to do that. There's
if he
no
if
ifs,
he
ands, or buts about it.
if he wants to save his body even longer, all you gotta do is decide, you know what, I'm gonna call off the bench.
Hmm.
Something to think about.
Trying to see. Well, that's really all that it is. Just the assist.
Mm-hmm.
You
He
got the
really don't have.
assist.
He really don't have to win another championship.
How long has Chris Paul been playing in the league?
Just as long as LeBron, they came in the same draft. LeBron was the first pick. I think it was LeBron, Darko Milicic, who was a bust, Carmelo, Dwayne Wade, then Chris Paul, or vice versa with them too. Let me look it up real quick. I'm gonna make sure I'm right.
But Chris Paul's been hurt significantly throughout his career. There's been multiple times he's
Mm-hmm.
been. Yeah, I don't see him lasting that many times. Unless something horrifically happens with LeBron James. Well, LeBron James just sits there and says, I quit. I don't see him. I see him breaking those records.
Oh, that is God. Oh, okay. That's who Chris Kaman. Okay, so I think. Okay, I could be wrong just a little bit.
What happened?
Chris Paul came out, I think, the year after LeBron. But that draft class, LeBron was first, Carmelo was second. Oh no, this is 1, 2. Oh, hold on. I could be
No,
wrong.
I know LeBron and Carmelo came in the same year.
Yep,
Came
LeBron
in the
was
same year.
LeBron first, Darko Milicic, who's maybe lasted 3 years in the league, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Chris Kaman, who's out the league, Kirk Heinrich is out the league, TJ Ford is out the league. Everybody from the Chris Bosh, good God, wow. Everybody after Chris Bosh, with the exception of David West out the league too. God, everybody after Chris Bosh is out the league from his draft class. Every one of them. To include Darko Milicic, who was the second pick. The only people left from his draft class in the league is LeBron and Carmelo. And you got to remember, Carmelo was almost out the league a few years ago because they was trying to blackball him.
Yeah, because he got blackballed. Well, he got blackballed for like 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got blackballed for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He got blackballed, and then not Detroit. Portland Trailblazers picked him back up.
Mm-hmm.
So after he left he went to the Knicks.
Yep.
From the Knicks, he went to, I think, OKC.
Yep.
Or did he go back to OKC and then?
No, he went to OKC.
Didn't he start? He started off at OKC. Then he ended up at the Knicks.
He started off in Denver.
Oh no! Then he went. Yeah. Then he ended up at OKC. Then that's when the blackball happened. Then Portland gave him a try back, and then after that he went and he ended up on the Lakers. I really think he should stay on the Lakers though.
LeBron?
No, I'm talking about Carmelo.
Yeah.
In the role that he plays, I think he really should. He should continue to do that because if he tries to go and do something else like that somewhere else at another area, it's not going to work out for him. He works well with coming off the bench and doing what he does.
I feel like LeBron needs to stay in LA. I want to say LeBron should retire as a Laker, but I feel like he's going to finish his career in Cleveland. He's going to go home. And I think that would be very appropriate. I think that would be very appropriate for him. He may not bring another championship to Cleveland, But the fact that he retired, he was drafted there, and he finished his career though, I think that would be very appropriate. But part of me says he's going to stay in the Laker uniform. And that's mainly because nobody really plays in the NBA. No, I'm not going to say that. LeBron is the type person, it's championship or bust for him. And
yeah.
LA is his best chance to get another championship versus Cleveland.
Or him going over to the Suns.
The Suns have a reputation for prolonging careers too.
Yeah, look at Shaq. Shaq went and fucking didn't he retire over there?
I think Shaq retired. He was in Boston.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he left Boston and went there. Okay.
He went Phoenix. Phoenix has a reputation for prolonging careers. You remember Grant Hill?
Yeah.
Grant Hill had the ankle injury in Orlando where they played him too long on that bad ankle, and it hindered him the rest of his career. That ankle injury should have ended his career. Grant Hill went to Phoenix, and I think he played for like another 5 seasons. Phoenix got something in the water out there. We got something in that water, man. But kudos to LeBron, man. All-time leading scorer.
Yeah. See what I'm looking forward to what the brother accomplishes more of, man. On and off the court. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope he shuts a lot of people up. A lot of people hate on him, and I don't even know why.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Like you know, what pisses me off about him? Michael Davenport.
That dude.
That fucking clown ass motherfucker, man. I'm like, who is this clown, and why did y'all give him like?
Why did y'all give him?
Bro, I every time I see him on ESPN or something like that, I be like, I change the fucking channel because I'm like, I'm sick of this dude.
It's like, why?
For real, what the fuck did you need him? You don't need ratings because your ratings are decent. So why the fuck is he here? That's what I be wanting to know. I'm like, why the fuck is this guy here? Mm-hmm. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. Yep. Like, fuck that dude, man.
Yep. I don't know what purpose he serves. He's just loud.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. Yes, he is. He's the loud black guy in the room. That's why I see him as the loud black guy. Huh?
So he's not bringing nothing to the table.
At all. I don't, because he's not bringing anything intellectual. He's not bringing some awe-inspiring insight. And it's just like, I sit there and look and I'm like, what the fuck is he here for? If I have to sit there and say, well, what the fuck is he here for? He serves no purpose. Like, there's no purpose whatsoever that you serve if I got to sit there and be like, what the fuck is he here for? Like, because you're not going to convince me beyond that. I'm like, bro, all you're doing is you're repeating something somebody else said more enthusiastically. That don't impress me. That don't impress me at all. I need to hear something like mentally nourishing that I'm gonna be like, okay, that's
you need something that's thought stimulating.
Yeah. If I don't hear that, then I'm just like, bro, I'm good. Just get the fuck off the stage. Exit. Don't come back after this commercial. Because this shit here is just retarded.
Well, congrats to LeBron.
Yeah, bro. Congratulations, and get another championship or assist title, and that's it. You shut everybody else up, bro. Just shut everybody else up.
That's it.
On that note, you got anything else, Jay?
Hey, I ain't got nothing else, man.
All right. on behalf of D-Lo, because D-Lo had to attend an emergency. He couldn't be with us on this part. But on that note, I'm Pete. And see you next episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Please do all of the above. And on that note, peace.
Peace.